Good evening. I am here to introduce Miss Laquita Jones. With 22 years of experience as a dedicated nurse and 23 years in ministry, Laquita Jones is a compassionate leader committed to healing both body and soul. She currently serves in both healthcare and spiritual care fields, using her voice and work to advocate for wholeness and restoration. Her passion for empowering single mothers fuels much of her outreach and mentoring. Laquita's upcoming book, Wound Care for the Soul, explores the deep connection between emotional wounds and spiritual healing, offering hope and guidance for those on the journey to wellness. Welcome, Miss Laquita Jones.
Well, hello. Thank you all for coming. I know it's a little different. It's a little different for me as well. But we're going to have fun, most of all. This is just something that, believe it or not, the Lord laid it on my heart to do. I wanted to do a traditional celebration, but anyway, for my 49th birthday, I'm doing something different. This is a different era for me, and I'm just excited to see where this journey is going to take me. So I hope you all are relaxed and ready to have some fun. As my invitation said, it was talking about tables that heal. So this is you're not sitting at an ordinary table. You're just not sitting at a event table. You're actually sitting at tables that heal. And that's what we're going to be focusing on tonight, healing and wholeness. And I think that we all can benefit from the topic. So welcome. Thank you all. Yay. Just to share a little bit, y'all, just so I can kind of relax. Just for over a year, I have literally been unraveling some trauma. And I began therapy. I want to say it was probably a year and a half ago, just kind of been off and on. And when I decided to do this podcast, I literally heard the Lord say, this is not just a podcast. This is a discovery. This is literally me discovering my voice. And I began to question, why now? Why not when I was 20 or 30? Why am I discovering my voice now? But one of the things I didn't realize was my voice was hidden behind the trauma. And now that we have unraveled that, and now that I'm healing, then the voice came forward. And so this is a challenge for me. It's also an experience for me as well. But I didn't want to do it alone. I'm like a sharer. I like to share, and so I wanted to invite you all along with the experience. So it's not only a discovery for me, but it's also a discovery for you as well. So yeah, thank y'all again for coming. We're gonna get started, and I want to invite my co-host to the table, but before I do, I just want to share a little something about her. I have been known her for quite some time. She's not only my friend, she's my sister. I'm the youngest of 6, so I didn't have any little sisters, and she has actually filled that position as being my little sister. And so I'm so honored to share this spot with her. She has walked through her own journey of healing, and that was something I had a chance to witness. And so when I see her excelling or accomplishing things, I'm so proud because I saw the once broken sister, and now I get to witness the whole sister. And so at the moment, I want to call up to the table Shanika Brown. Let's give her a yay! So we're just going to be chatting and having fun, and we're going to be sharing. So I want y'all to just really, really relax. We're going to share a lot, and that we think you all would really take something home tonight. Yeah,
Hey,
I believe
girl.
so. Hey, girl. How are you?
Would you like me to tell the people who I am?
Please do.
Well, as Laquita said, she is a big sister to me. We've known each other for over 10 years for sure.
Yeah,
but I'm Shanika Brown. I am a licensed professional counselor. I'm an author. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a dog mom. I have over 6 years of experience in the mental health field. And I specialize in trauma, crisis, and family therapy. And I just love to educate and advocate for mental health. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm excited to share. I'm excited to hear. And I'm glad to be here to watch you do this. Don't she look good tonight?
You look well.
Thank you.
You look amazing. But no, I'm really glad. We have been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
We have literally been planning this for quite some time. We just didn't know how we were going to do it. We didn't know when we were going to do it. I think I mentioned something about table talk a long time ago. But now we're doing tables that heal.
We're doing tables that heal.
Look at God.
Look at them.
But yeah, you have a book.
Yes.
You have a book.
I do have a book. It is called The Beauty of Brokenness. I wrote that book some years after I went through my first divorce. That book was birthed out of a lot of pain, out of a lot of hurt, but it's a testimony in it. I enjoyed writing the book. And I finished the book actually when I was down on like a broken ankle. I had surgery and I finished that book. The amazing thing that I love about that book is the fact that the end details my forgiveness to my ex-husband. I could not write that chapter until I forgave him. And I didn't fully forgive him until about 6 years, about 5 or 6 years after we got divorced. So I had to write him a letter because that was the only chapter I had a hard time writing. And I had to write him a letter forgiving him, and I was able to complete the book, have a book signing, and God had his way. And now I'm married again.
And now that is beautiful.
I'm married again.
Listen, I don't think you would be able to accomplish another relationship successfully if you had not forgiven him.
I believe so.
Yeah.
That's correct. Forgiveness is important. It happens. It doesn't happen immediately. It happens on, your own time. It happens when you're ready. You have to have a full heart of forgiveness to where that person can receive it. And he received it immediately after he read the letter. And so his heart was ready to receive. Mine was ready to give. And we moved on from it. We have the best co-parenting relationship now.
Y'all do.
Mm-hmm. We do.
Baby, listen. Because I'm just going to tell you right now. Because I be like, You know what? You have a special grace for that. Because I know. You do.
I know.
You got a special grace.
It was tough at first, but we made it through.
Yeah.
I spent time with his wife. Like, we have a full family. Like, we don't have
it's a beautiful thing.
4 kids on my side, 4 kids on his side. We have all these kids together. Like, we're a full family.
I love it. I love it. Do you think that, because I know sometimes people can jump right into relationships, and I'm not saying that that's like a prerequisite for marriage, just being healed or having a forgiving heart. But just for someone that's single and that's seeking a relationship, and of course we all want to be successful in our relationship, what advice can you give the single woman regarding being whole? Because I mean, it's easy to get in a relationship, but when you're broken, those relationships are not going to last.
Yeah.
You're going to have some crazy stuff going on, a lot of crazy stuff. Because I've been in a lot of relationships. Yeah, headed that. But cut. I hit my phone. Cut. Ooh. But yeah, anyway.
Get her.
Baby. But serious. I can seriously say, I can seriously say that I realized where I erred at in a lot of my relationships. Now, although we was not compatible, I'm gonna say it like that, but I was able to see myself in the relationship, because I can remember when I was just sick of myself, and I was just like, why I keep going through this same thing?
Sick of yourself.
I was like, why am I keep attracting the same people? Like, what is going on? And I had to look within. Yeah. Because there was something in me attracting these toxic relationships. And in the past, I could really get toxic. Like, busting windows out your, out your car. Yeah.
It comes
like,
from a
for
place.
real.
It comes
I'm just
from
going
a
to be honest,
place.
because we're going to be transparent.
No, really. It comes from a place.
I was talking to my son, and he was like, Mom, what's some stuff that you've done? You know, he was asking the question in your relationship. I said, I done put sugar in the tank. I done bust windows out the car. Like, don't be looking at me like I'm a criminal. Like, this is real. Okay, you can edit that. But no, I've done, I was doing some
you're
stuff.
probably not the only one.
Like, I can say that I was contributed to some toxic relationship. I was contributing to that.
Yeah.
Like, although they had their own share of toxicity,
right.
I had some too, and we was just like, our chemicals together was just very toxic, like for real. But what advice do you have for someone that's maybe seeking a relationship? What advice do you have for them as far as being whole, pretty much?
I think it's interesting that you asked me that question, because when I was preparing to marry my husband, someone asked me, well, how did you know that this time was the right time? And I told her I had to change the way I was doing things to attract the person that I wanted to have. I had to look deep within, because I still had some traits, even though I had, worked through the healing. Healing is an ongoing process. It's never healed ED. It's always healing ING.
Okay. I like that.
You're always continuing to work, because when you've been through things, you still have to work on coping with those things, because somebody could, pull that out of you. And so my tidbit would be to, definitely look deep within, try to think about what it is that you actually want, not what society says, what you fantasize about, because a fantasy is just that, a fantasy. It might not be real. Think about what is tangible, like what is real for you. Like, somebody may want a house with a picket fence and a husband and 2 kids and a dog and all that stuff. That's the stuff we saw on TV growing up.
Right.
Think a little bit deeper than that, because that's the outer appearance of things. What do you want happening on the inside of your relationship? And so that's a big thing for me.
Right. I know, and I know it's gonna sound cliche, but I threw away my list, like, literally. I had a list, but
How long was your list?
It was about 2 pages. Because someone told me to do that.
Oh.
So I'm just going by what someone told me to do. But the real one of the things that I had to do the most, I really had to seek within. Mm-hmm.
Because what I ask people is, okay, you have a list. Do you meet all the qualifications on your own list that you're asking for this person to have? Can you meet that standard?
That's good.
Because some of us can't meet that standard, especially when we take the time to look within. We aren't able to meet that standard. I'm not talking about financially. I'm not talking about different. Like, okay, I want somebody who is emotionally stable. Am I emotionally stable? Can I handle when somebody, yells at me? Am I going to cuss them back out? Am I not? Am I going to give what I'm asking for? And so that's a big thing. Like, you got to check the list. If you're going to check the list, check it twice for yourself too.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so we were talking about toxic relationship.
Right.
Is it possible to be toxic and not even know it? Mm-hmm. Can you elaborate?
I'll be transparent. I'm always transparent. So I had a toxic trait of sending very petty, sarcastic text messages. I didn't realize that was deep down on the inside of me until it started happening. And it started happening so effortlessly. Mm-hmm. And that's a toxic trait of mine. And nobody was going to text me back off of that foolery. Like, it was going to be a back and forth thing. I guess you would say it was a scream for, hey, I need you to see me, but I was doing it in the worst way. Like, saying the most sarcastic, nasty things. Okay. But yeah, you can have a toxic trait and not know it. Somebody just has to pull it out of you. We call those triggers.
Triggers. Mm-hmm. So just because you have trigger that
sometimes
means you're toxic?
You can have doesn't mean that you're toxic. It means that there is somebody that has an ability to do something that would trigger something that you've been through. And your way of responding to it is your defense mechanism. Mm-hmm. So my defense mechanism is petty, sarcastic text messages. That's how I'm defending myself, because I need you to hear me.
Because toxic is just so trendy right now.
It is.
Like,
It's very trendy.
is it? I'm like, is it really a true thing? Like, it's. I didn't know I was toxic until I started healing.
Well, think about something that's toxic. You in the nurse field.
Mm-hmm.
When something is toxic, what is it considered to be?
Poison.
Poison.
Yeah.
Poison does what?
Kill you.
It kills. So if I'm sending nasty, petty text messages, I'm killing the relationship.
You're killing the relationship.
toxic.
That's good. I like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's another way to look at it.
That's another way to look at it.
Lord.
Just nasty. Poison.
So, okay, bitterness. Let's talk about bitterness. One of my, as long as I can remember, ever since I was a little girl, I would see these older women. I wouldn't know. They would have this look. They would look like they were literally sucking on a pickle. And I was like, why they look so mean and just frowned up? I was like, I would not. So I kind of practiced smiling a lot. I was like, I would not look like that when I get older. Would not. But I just felt like they were bitter. And I promised myself as I got older that I would not be a bitter woman. Like, I never want to be a bitter person. And I have to literally work hard at that.
Yeah.
But for someone that does not know how you can become bitter, and some people don't even know that they're bitter, because I'm sure if they knew that they were bitter, because bitter has a look. It has a look. And I'm sure, and it also has actions, but it has a look.
Okay.
And I'm sure that if they knew that they was looking like that, just all frowned up and just discouraged, like the whole time. And I'm not talking about one person. It was bitter. And I know that bitterness comes from disappointment.
Yeah.
But can you just kind of expound on that?
Bitterness. I was bitter.
You probably can't even relate. Can you relate?
I can.
Okay.
I was bitter after my divorce. I didn't understand why, that happened
you're
to
not
me.
bitter anymore.
I thought I was a good wife. You can wear bitterness. The thing about it is you put it on so effortlessly every day, because that is something that has become, a part of you. It has become a part of our personality. It's become a part of the way we dress, the way we talk to people. Sometimes we clothe bitterness. It can look just as beautiful as you.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, so you can hide it?
But you can hide it. You can mask it. You can walk out, because it's so hard. Because bitterness turns into you not being so vulnerable with people too. Because now at this point, I've lost trust with whomever it is that I'm bitter with, and not just that person, but other people too. So now I'm just bitter. I'm mad at the whole world, and my family, my kids have to feel it, and different things like that. So yeah, you can hide it. But it's gonna be very evident in the way if somebody is talking to you, they can tell.
Right. I really wish we could just role play right now, like a bitter person.
I'm trying to think of how I was. My bitterness was in my thoughts.
Okay.
I wasn't mean to people. My bitterness was really in my thought process. I would think ugly thoughts. So when I would see other married couples, I would be jealous because I lost my marriage. Okay. And so that bitterness set in for me. I wouldn't wish harm on them or anything like that, but that mindset that I had, it started developing bitterness. I was so mad. Like, why would you do this to me and everybody else is happy?
Right.
So I have to raise a child on my own, and you get to go live well and happy.
Right.
So now I'm mad. And I don't want nothing to do with marriage or anything.
Wow. Okay. So we're going to take a break. That's a lot to process. Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that. And then we'll come back.
Okay.
We are back, and guess what? We have a guest here, and this is Miss J.
Hi.
And she has been a professional counselor for almost 10 years, and she runs her own private practice as well. So her and I, we're going to talk just a little bit about what would we stand on if we had the opportunity to start over. And I know toxicity, right? I know that that's like a new word now, right? that everybody, that Shanika and, Laquita were talking about. And I think the main thing from that is hearing someone tell me that sometimes the people that love you, they say that, they want the best for you, but sometimes they need to be healed first before they can actually raise you. Okay? And so and I love my parents in so many ways, right? But I understand that sometimes you have to be healed from some of the things that you have developed in your childhood where your parents, they didn't have a manual to raise you, so they did the best that they could, right? So one thing that I would definitely stand on if I could start over is maybe healing earlier in the process, not later. So what about you, Jay?
Oh, that's really great. So I'm so glad you brought that up about parenting. So I actually specialize in trauma, and I work with a lot of adults through their childhood trauma. And that is a really good point. Like, we have to heal from things that aren't our fault.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think starting over, like, personally, I would come to that conclusion sooner. Like, a lot of things that happened weren't my fault.
Yeah.
And so, like, it wasn't my fault, but I have to heal from it.
Absolutely. Yes. And that is the whole purpose of this evening. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Jay, for sharing with us. Yes. And we will be back here shortly.
Girl, that was the best commercial break.
That was a good commercial break.
I love it.
It was good.
That was so good. I was watching y'all.
Yeah, that was good.
We need to focus over there. Thank you, Jay.
You gotta do one more?
Come on, you got us
Do
alive.
another one.
Okay.
All right, and we are back again with another guest, Miss LaTanya here, and she is actually a worker with the federal government. She does very well out there. She's in the logistics field, so she makes sure all the things happen in Huntsville. Okay, So LaTanya, one thing that another item that we were talking about here was something that we've actually survived or healed from. And I know that this is a place of healing, or at least, to start, because like Shanika said, healing is a process, okay? But I know for me, one thing that I've recently healed from, my mom passed away. So, a little different, but I've healed from that, or I'm in the process of healing from that. So, what about you? What's something that you're healing from?
First thing that comes to mind when I hear that, I'm a survivor of betrayal.
Wow.
It runs deep.
My goodness. Would you like to expand on that just a little bit?
Well, I'll say this. When you experience these type of things as an adult, it's different from a child. I didn't experience a lot or go through a lot with people until I became an adult. So processing it, I'm a Bible girl, so the Bible makes sense when it say when you come as a child. A child will forgive quickly and go back to playing with the person that did them wrong. Whereas an adult, we hold it.
Man. Well, we are definitely healing tonight, y'all, okay? It is a process, but we are so thankful that we were able to share, and we're going to pass it back to our beautiful host and co-host, Ms. LaQuita and Shanika.
Oh, wow. That's a
good-
lot.
yeah.
That was some good stuff.
Yeah, there was some good stuff.
That was some good. Thank y'all for that. Let's dive in. Let's start with the first person that.
I love what both Alicia and Jay said about, I probably would have done it sooner. And the statement about it wasn't my fault, but I have to heal from it. That is a really hard thing, a really hard realization that you come to when you start and you begin the healing process. Because now, how do I accept an apology that I never got?
Wow.
How do I forgive this person?
So let me ask you this. I think what, and I'm glad we're talking about this. This is off the script, my God. But
That's how we rolling.
baby. So ooh, we healing. Let me ask you this. This is what I'm currently struggling with in therapy. And it's not me not getting the apology. I think that I'm struggling with the abuse of me not knowing. Like, why did I wait till I am in my 40s to know that this person that my caregiver as a child was abusing me? Like, why? I should have known that this was wrong. And so I am literally beating myself up.
Okay.
I'm beating myself
Yeah.
up because of that.
Right.
Because had I known then, I could have opened my mouth up and said something
Okay.
as a child.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have. I don't know.
So, what I tell a lot of people is we stay off the shoulda, coulda, woulda road. Okay? The shoulda, coulda, woulda road does not exist. What we tend to do is say, like you were saying, when I was a child, I would have said something. But you were a child. You couldn't say anything. You didn't know the process of what was happening. A child doesn't know that they're being groomed into something that is inappropriate. A child doesn't know that, how do I distinguish between this person who is a family friend or a family member, that what they're doing is wrong? Because first, in the grooming process, a trust gets developed.
Right.
And children are very, they're very trusting. Like LaTanya said, children things will happen to them, they'll forgive quickly, they'll move on.
Right.
And so what happens is sometimes the groomer they'll do something and then they'll say, you forgive me, and then you can move on from. So a child is more likely to be groomed in a way to where they can do the things that the person is doing.
Right.
So now there are life events that have happened for you, and now you're in your 40s healing from something when you were a child. Life events happen that bring you to this place because you simply just didn't know. So what I would say to free yourself from the shoulda, coulda, woulda road is to understand that as a child you didn't know. Right?
Right.
You didn't know.
So I know I'll never get the apology because they're no longer here.
Right.
And I'll never get the opportunity to tell my mom because they're no longer here.
Yeah.
But listen, I feel like I need to be free by vocalizing that.
Absolutely. You should.
Okay. I don't know. Just something, I need
sometimes
to
our own freedom,
vocalize that.
Right. Sometimes our own freedom comes from helping someone else be free. So what we didn't learn, we begin to teach others. It's a healing process. It is a healing process. We have to stop being upset with who we were and stay focused on who we are now and be proud of who we are now. That's why when you're doing a lot of inner child work, you start to work with who you were.
Right.
There's a lot of things you can take from who you were as a child and not blame yourself. The reality is it happened.
Right.
Now we're here in the future, right? And you can start to process and move on from it. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. It's just saying I won't let that be a staple in my life. And now I'm going to use this to help somebody else, to help free somebody else.
Okay. We can ask LaTanya a question. Like, can we move on a little further?
Yeah, we can move on a little. I mean, we was getting a little down.
That was like, yeah.
Okay.
We was getting, you was bringing up some more stuff. Like, when you said that it's ongoing.
Yeah. See, I was a little different. This person was still involved in my family affairs. So I had to watch them. When you talk about the word betrayal, that was the ultimate betrayal that I experienced growing up. To watch family members still fellowship with this individual.
Right. Okay.
That's how bitterness gets stored up. That's how all those things get stored up.
All right, and we are back. And guess what? We have another wonderful young lady that has joined us with Miss Laquita and Shanika at the front. Her name is Dr. Mahelian Boykin. She is also a licensed professional counselor with over 20 years of mental health counseling experience. She also serves as an author, motivational speaker, mental health educator, and presenter and life coach. Through professional and personal experiences, her purpose is fueled by empowering women, bridging the gap between mental health and the church. In her spare time, she enjoys writing, traveling, enjoying nature, and spending time with family and friends. Her favorite person in the world is herself. I love that. Because she spent her entire life learning to love her, and now that she does, she has realized how truly dope she is and how much time she missed out on it. So let's welcome up Dr. Mahalia Boykins.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
Okay, herself. Can I do this?
I'll talk about us.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love that, Mahalia.
Look, I did a lot of work to be able to say that out loud.
That's
So,
awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is.
And thank you so much for being that accountable person, that accountability person in my life. So, yeah, y'all kind of keep me on track. Y'all better get some therapists in your pockets. I'm telling you.
Listen.
I mean, it's good to have your own, but listen,
I go to
Get you-
Mahalia about stuff. I go to
get
Jay
you
about
one in your
stuff.
pocket.
We got one too.
Yeah, we gotta have our people too.
Yeah.
So,
I love it. I love it. So, we were talking about my childhood trauma, and then I know you heard me in my introduction saying how I recently discovered my voice after healing from some of my childhood traumas. Can you tell them what are some common ways that childhood trauma impacts a person's ability to speak up or express themselves later in life?
Good question.
that is
As
a
what
good
I'm
question.
experiencing.
It's a
Yeah.
really good question.
That is
Yeah.
a good question. I would say, when you're a child, you have a voice, but you don't. Your parents, don't say that, or don't say that, or we don't talk about that. So, when you experience trauma in your childhood, you sort of get stuck there in that mindset of, don't say that. So every time you feel like you want to speak up about something, your mind goes back to that. So you shut down. It's like, I can't say that, or I can't speak on that. So as an adult, you still use your child voice.
Right.
And so it's not until you work through those childhood issues as an adult that you at the same time develop your adult voice. And so some ways to tell that you're entering into your adult voice, some of that shame that you once had about saying certain things, you feel it less. It's like, and then you get excited to talk about certain things. When you feel that excitement grow, then you know that's your adult voice growing.
Wow. You know what's so funny that I would always say, and you've heard me say this, that I'm an introvert. But I do believe that I had developed that personality because of the trauma. Is that possible? Because am I truly an introvert, or was it just that my voice was hitting for so long that I adapted to that personality?
Yeah, and then that can be the case. I don't know if y'all have heard the story of the silent twins that developed the trauma as children, and they grew their whole life silent, like they never talked.
Really?
Never.
Yeah.
Like they were just silent. That was their protection or way of protecting themselves from further trauma. So sometimes, no, it's not that you're an introvert. That's just your defense mechanism. That's how you, cope with things. If I don't talk, I won't say the wrong things. I won't make somebody angry, or I won't disappoint this person, or or whatever. So, it is possible to take on being an introvert as a defense mechanism.
Wow.
So like you saying, like, so if she stays inside, she doesn't have to encounter anybody or things like that would
You don't
make her
have
react
to
a certain
put
way.
yourself in a situation to be traumatized again.
Right.
Avoidance.
Avoidance.
Oh, y'all have an enlightenment.
So we masking being an introvert with
all kind of masks.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
so that we can cover up the fact that we're avoiding
Yes.
actually being in the forefront of getting to this thing. Okay.
Because you don't seem like an introvert up here.
I don't know.
No, so that
Baby.
but that's healing.
Yeah.
Because you come
okay.
out
No,
of it,
seriously.
right?
So she got on her grown person voice,
Yeah,
right?
Yep. You at the healing table.
Okay.
So how do you help a client distinguish between their trauma voice and their true voice?
You got some good questions.
You do, girl. Go.
You got some real good questions.
Okay, so if I go by my own experience, anybody that knows me knows that for so long, I was afraid to speak in public. Now, if I'm at home, I'll practice a speech to death, but when it comes to talking in front of people, I'm not going to do that. And that's because of traumatic experiences that I've had with public speaking. But on the inside, I always knew that was my purpose, that was my calling, that was what I was supposed to do. And I had a conflict with God about this for a long time, because I'm like, I'm not doing it. So how are you calling me to do something I'm not going to do? Right. So, he was like, you're going to do it, but this is how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
And, going through the stages, I was able to get there, right? And so I teach other people that when you recognize your purpose, your calling, who you are, before you realize that that's a trauma for you, or that's how you measure your growth, because now the trauma is down here when you're looking at yourself and your abilities and your purpose and your gift is up here now. Where your trauma was like, if you held up a mirror, you would see the trauma before you saw your purpose, right? And so when that image starts to change, then that's how you know.
That's good stuff.
Oh, that's good.
But Haley, would you say that the thing that you fear doing the most is like really attached to your purpose?
It is. It's attached to my purpose. It's attached to my identity. The core of who I am. Like, I've always known that. And even though I had developed this fear, the desire, the burning, the purpose never went away. So it was a constant conflict when, I would see somebody doing something that I know that I deep down can do.
Yeah.
I would sit there and be like, I can do that. But I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because I let that experience control the rest of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Control the rest of your life.
One day, maybe 3 hours out of my life controlled 35 years.
35
Wow.
years.
So when you put it in perspective, it's like we give our situations too much control and too much power.
Wow. We give it too much.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So what is a therapeutic tool that you use for finding your voice? Was it journaling? Was it storytelling? What was some tools that you used?
Definitely journaling. Journaling and writing. But when we talk about voice, because I couldn't say it out loud, I could write it. I could write it all day, and I could take those writings and rewrite them and make them more creative and more descriptive and sound better, each time. So I'm creating my story. I'm creating my voice. It's just on paper.
Yeah.
And so then, I would work up the courage. I would take what I write and I would read it out loud. I guess that would be storytelling. I would read it out loud, to myself until I became comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, I can do this. I can talk about this. And so then I could share it. I could share it with other people, and it might be like a really close friend, somebody that I really trust first, to just see how they, what their feedback would be. And it's like, oh, okay, that was good. You did good. Then I can trust it with somebody else. I'm like, okay, well, let me see what they say. Until I was, gradually my voice moved from my journals and my notebooks to, out in the open. Because anybody that know me, I got a closet full of journals that I done wrote in over the years. So you will see, that writing gets less and less now because I'm using my voice.
Right. Look at you at the table, girl, using your voice. Okay.
I love it. I love
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
Mahalia.
I don't want to pass up this opportunity because I think that we are really in a soft spot right now. I want to ask anybody out there, do you all have any questions for Dr. Mahalan or Shanika or even myself in regards to some of the things that we've discussed here at the Healing Table?
All right, and we are here with Miss Jamie, who is a registered nurse here in the Huntsville area, right? So we appreciate your service. Thank you. So Jamie actually, she said that she has actually 2 questions for Dr. Boykin, and Laquita and Shanika based on the conversation of childhood trauma. So I'm going to let Jamie ask her questions.
So my first question is, so if you've had a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of times you don't really realize it until you get older. Like a lot of times, like I know for me, I can't remember a lot of my childhood because it was so much trauma. So now that I'm actually in counseling and something happens, I actually remember it. So how do you handle being around people that you still, like there are family members that you still have that caused the trauma until you're ready to maybe confront them, and how would you confront them?
Look at us looking at her like, ooh, you take that one. That is deep. Good question.
So one of the things that you mentioned was not remembering a lot of things that happen. And what happens in our brain, you know, we talk about that fight, flight, or freeze. And you froze, and a lot of that stuff was blocked there. And so now you're in a process where you're pulling back, you know, those layers. And so what's happening is your self-awareness is now heightened. And so you're in the presence of the individual, you're in the presence of the people that know or don't know. From personal experience, the way I handled mine is that I asked my parents, why didn't anyone put me in therapy when it happened? It happened, got checked at the hospital, saw the social worker, went back home, started school in the fall. Nothing was addressed. You have to be very strategic about how you're going to address this, because some people have forgotten about it. My parents have their own trauma where they tend to block. So what happened to me was when it happened, my mom blocked what was going on because she has her own personal trauma. And so we have to be very careful in how we approach them about it as well, because their response could trigger you. And then you have to ask yourself too, while I'm healing, is it worth opening this wound with this person? Is it beneficial to my process? And so you have to protect your process like you would protect a newborn baby. I want to make sure that I'm feeding it right. I want to make sure that I'm clothing it right. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do for my healing process. So ask yourself that question, is it beneficial for me right now to address this? Because I don't know what type of response I'm going to get. And you're not responsible for how they feel about you addressing what has taken place.
Wow.
You can't take responsibility for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would say about that.
And the next question is, a moment I felt truly seen was.
Oh, I can take that one. I would say I'm just now starting to feel like I'm truly seen. And that's not to say that I wasn't. I just didn't know it. Because when you don't see yourself, you can't see somebody else seeing it in you either. So for me, it wasn't until I had to work through my own insecurities that I could feel seen, because I didn't see myself, if that makes sense. So I would say, when did I truly feel seen? Maybe within the last 6 months. And yeah, that recent. Even though I've been doing this for over 20 years and have all this experience and have done all these things, I'm just now starting to see it, or see me in it, if that makes sense.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Welcome. Let's give her a hand, and we're going to pass it back over to our wonderful panel.
Talking about all of the trauma and talking about our process. Yeah. One of the things, seriously, to be 100% transparent, I literally thought that it could not happen for me. I literally thought that I wouldn't see this moment. It was just that bad. Wow.
That's big, Queen.
It is.
That's really big.
I don't know if anybody else feels like that. We could be so blinded and thinking that we're okay. And I think that for so long I thought that I was okay. And therapy, just the past, 5 or 6 years, it has become so common now. And I didn't go to therapy because I was experiencing, a traumatic experience at the moment. I went because I was curious. I was curious because I wanted to know what was all packed on the inside of me. And not only that, because I didn't realize that I was abused until I started going through therapy. And so I went because, one, I was curious, and then two, I wanted to know what the healed version of me looked like.
That's good.
That is good.
That's really good.
And I know that I have so much further to go.
Yeah.
But just to get to this point right here, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I didn't see it without going through therapy.
So how do you feel?
Yeah.
Right
How do I
now,
feel
like,
now?
in this moment?
I feel good.
Yeah.
I know that I have so much further to go, but I feel good. I feel good. I'm so glad that I was able to begin the process.
Yeah.
And I have so much patience for those that's going through the process or have not gone through the process. I attract a lot of people that need to be healed. Someone asked me, why you be hanging around? You be attracting some weird people. Someone said that to me once, and I was like, I feel like it was a part of my calling.
Yeah.
I'm writing a book, and it's called Wound Care for the Soul. And so
I love that title.
yes,
That's a good title.
for so long as my career as a nurse, I was attracted to the wound care department. I was a treatment nurse. And even when I tried to get away from it, they would pull me into that department. I was like, why do I keep getting pulled into this wound care department? Like, can I just be like a medication nurse or, just do something regular? Like, why? And I enjoyed it, but I kept trying to get away from it. And I began to ask God, I said, listen, I cannot get away from being a wound care nurse.
Yeah.
Why? Why do I keep attracting this type of job? And why am I so good at it? Like, I really wanted to know, like, why am I so good at it? And he said, because I have called you to the wounded.
That's good.
And not just in the physical.
Not just in the physical.
Right.
I have called you to the wounded. And so in my book, you will see where I would compare how I treated wounds in the natural, but I'm also going to walk through my process of healing as well, and then give others strategies to be healed as well. And so I'm excited about the book, but I could not move any further. Like, I got all the chapters completed, and I was ready to just like, hey, let's go ahead and publish it. But that was that one part, that one chapter of abuse that had to be uncovered, that I have to put in the book before I can move further.
You have to expose your wound.
I had to expose my wound.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's why
not easy.
I say the mind, body, and spirit connection is
Everything.
so real.
It is.
And that is an example.
Yeah.
In the physical, you do the same thing. You heal wounds. But because of your experiences and your own mental and spiritual healing or experiences, you have to be able to put all three of those together to help the people that you're meant to help.
That's good.
Right.
I'm excited for you.
Me too.
I'm excited.
Sign my copy.
Right.
Yes.
I hope our next gathering would be my
Your
book
book
signing.
signing.
Yes. So we're going to break.
All right, and we are back. And guess what? We have another beautiful lady that has joined our panel this evening, Miss Michelle Livingston. She is the founder of Love Unmasked Ministry, a faith-based movement committed to helping individuals unmask emotional wounds, heal the heart, and break generational cycles that hinder growth. She is the author of His Love Unmasked, Who I Am, a power memoir that shares her personal journey from rejection and pain to healing and identity through Christ. Through her ministry and her message, Michelle now empowers others to rise above the past and live with purpose, wholeness, and faith. Thank you so much, Miss Michelle Livingston, for joining us. We'll cue it back to this beautiful panel.
Thank you.
Michelle.
Thanks.
Hi, Michelle.
Thank you for the invite and happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. It is my birthday. We failed to mention that, right? Man, the timing was so perfect.
It was.
Perfect timing. So, listen, I was at the studio inquiring about the recording, and this beautiful lady walked in. And she wasn't talking to me, actually. I was being nosy. And she was talking about her book and talking about her experience, and it was just perfect timing because we're getting ready to do this podcast, and here she come in talking about her experience to the owners. She was actually here for a photo shoot for her granddaughter.
Oh, wow. That's right.
That's how we met. And I was like, hey, what you gonna be doing on July 11th? We need to link up.
Yeah.
I'm all about some healing.
Yes, absolutely.
So I just want you to share. Your bio is mind-blowing.
Yeah, so my thing, I love unmasked.
Mm-hmm.
At an early age, when I was 10, I didn't get the attention and love that I thought I needed, the way I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loves differently and receive love differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not receiving it the way I thought I needed. Like, I'm extra sometimes, so I need hug. Mm-hmm. I need you to tell me you love me. Mm-hmm. And I need to see that you see me. And I felt I was not being seen. Mm-hmm. So when I was 10, I actually took a bottle of pills.
Wow.
I didn't want to die. I wanted to be seen. Oh. And I woke up the next morning saying, I couldn't even get that right. And I was hoping I would wake up at the hospital and they would say, we love you, don't do that again. And so I was like, I failed. So when you don't get what you need, you're going to find it some kind of way. Mm-hmm. And so with me, I went looking for it. Yeah. So early on, I ended up with a man that was older than I am from my church. Mm-hmm. So I ended up having a child at an early age. Mm-hmm. So I was expelled from school and disfellowshipped from church. And my friends at church and school were one of the same. So I had no friends. Right. I just had my family. And so I went through that, and that's where I became, I guess, a persona, because I lost who I was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my voice was silenced. Mm-hmm. And so once my voice was silenced, which was part of my gift because I like to talk. Mm-hmm. So once my voice was silenced, then each time, each day, each relationship, I would lose a little piece of me and even more of my voice because I was trying to please the person so they could love me. I didn't understand that I had to love myself first. Right. So fast forward, then when I turned 59.
You look good, girl. Wait a minute. Wow, you're beautiful.
Right, she just slid that.
Oh my goodness.
I had a
wow.
She looks so good. I had another breakdown, and this time I really wanted to check out, and the reason I wanted to check out is because the guy that I had been dating for years had been ghosting me. Yeah. I didn't answer the phone when he wanted me to, and I was with my granddaughter, taking her out for my birthday. Mm-hmm. And so when I didn't answer and he ghosted me, then I just spiraled out because I had put my mind, body, and soul into that relationship. Wow. Parts of me and everything that I should have been given to God, I was putting it in my relationships. Yeah. And so I'm calling my daughter crying
And like, I have to change. Something has to change.
Yeah.
So when you're tired of being tired,
You do something.
I was
do something
done.
different.
And I
Yeah.
broke down and I started writing out a will. And so I said, my daughter and my son will be okay. But then when I started thinking about my grandchildren, I said, I cannot transfer that pain
Right.
down to the
on.
next generation.
Come on.
I have to change something
Right,
so we
absolutely.
can break that cycle.
Yes,
Because we
yes.
sweep everything up under the rug.
Yeah.
And I was swept under the rug, and it wasn't addressed because back in that day, you didn't talk about seeing no therapist, or we didn't even know the
Right.
word.
Right. Right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
So I broke down and said, Lord, I'm gonna be honest. I want this man with, like, I feel him in my loins.
Oh, wow.
And if you're gonna want me to get over him, you're gonna have to do something, because right now I don't know how to leave him. I don't know how to. I knew the relationship wasn't healthy. I knew he was controlling. I knew that I didn't have a voice. I was losing myself every year, but I didn't. That's what love looked like to me.
Right.
So I as long as I can have a little bit of what I thought love was, I was okay with sacrificing who I was.
Wow.
So
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful.
yeah.
Is that how the book came about?
That's how the book came about. I write a lot, just journal a lot. And so I figured with me, it was never talked about what happened. The guy, I was young age. He was like maybe 8 years older than I was. And so then eventually he got married while we were still in our entanglement.
Yeah.
He got married. So none of that was discussed. None of it was talked about. And my mother even talked about sending me off to my grandmother. And so I said no, because I wanted to stay at home because that's all I had.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it wasn't talked about. So I was seen, but in a bad light. But
Right.
none of what was happening was explained. Like, everything,
Right.
it was all my fault. That's the way it was perceived to me. And I couldn't process that, and I didn't understand. So I just started writing things down, and I felt like the generation that's coming up will need to hear my story so they can hear how I healed, the steps that I went through to break the cycle instead of hiding it. You can't, what we hide, conceal, God is waiting so he can heal.
Right. True. Right. Absolutely.
And the more we heal, it's in layers, the more he will reveal. Because we have trauma and things inside that's passed down from our ancestors.
Absolutely.
That we don't even know we're
Right,
carrying.
right,
And we're like,
absolutely.
where did that come
Right,
from?
right.
What was that? And so it just starts in layers. It's ongoing, it's layers. And so I said, the generation that's coming, they need to hear it. They need to hear the ugly. We
Right.
hide the the
Yep.
bad stuff,
Yeah, we
but
do.
then we want to say, oh, I got this achievement here.
Right.
Oh, look what my child doing here. But the stuff we need to be talking about and addressing, we don't. And I understand, don't get me wrong, I understand my parents did the best they could
Right,
with the
right.
skills and
Yes,
knowledge
yes,
that they had.
Yes.
And so that's why I'm like, we need to help the generation. We need to break this cycle.
Yeah.
We need to talk about it. We need to show them how to break those habits, because I didn't know how to break it. And the Lord, it was nothing but the grace of God. And I just wrote down everything that was bothering me. I was carrying things back from a child. I'm like, and this man said this to me, and he did this to me. He gone. He buried and everything.
Right.
But my problem was, you can do something to me, and I can forgive you in the next 15 or 20 minutes. That's just my natural personality. So I forgave everyone, but I didn't forgive myself.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So I realized when I hit rock bottom, the love that I was looking for, that I was chasing in relationships and men, was the love that I had inside all along through God, and only He could give that to me.
Right.
It's kind of like you long for that desire.
Right.
You know, like a piece, like candy. You don't have that desire for the candy until you taste it, until you have it. So I'm like, here as a child, I'm looking for that love.
You're looking for
and
that
it was
love.
God's love that I was
Right,
looking
right.
for. He had, when He created us, He imprinted, He put us, He loved us first.
Right.
So I'm
I
up here
could
trying to
definitely
find
relate to
this
that.
in
Yeah.
men,
Yes,
and they couldn't give me that.
Yes. What's one strategy in your book that you could give to the audience that can help break those generational curses? What's one strategy can you give them?
One thing I've learned is awareness. We are often masters at what other people need to fix in their lives,
Oh,
They have no self-awareness
yes.
at times.
and we don't have that self-awareness of ourselves.
Yes.
And oftentimes, I was married for 15 years before we divorced, and we probably would have still been married, but we did lose a daughter, and so that kind of ended our relationship. She was 4 when she passed. And when we were divorced, I had a whole laundry list. He didn't do this. He wasn't doing that. And I didn't have anything on me. I was good.
Right.
But once I started healing and aware of me and what I contribute
To the yes.
and I took a broken heart. So I loved him with that brokenness in me. And I'm trying to love someone. And I haven't even loved myself yet. I haven't validated and accepted myself yet.
That's a lot of what happens.
And so once I learn to love and accept who I am first, then you will start to attract someone
Right.
that will respect.
Right.
That's true.
So I have learned to be that person I want in my life.
Right.
I want a man to be patient.
Yes.
I want a man to have joy. Have that joy and happiness. Don't depend on the man to give you that
That's right.
happiness. 'Cause if you
Absolutely.
depend on external. When that external leave, that job leave, that car break
internal.
down,
That's right.
that all of that goes away.
You gotta
If
deal with
that
the internal.
exactly,
deal
so
with
you
that.
have to have that happiness in there. So when that leaves, then
Hey.
sorry. Then you like, I'm good. I still love myself, Yes, cut that part, please.
That was good. Thank you so much, Michelle, for sharing. Woo! Yeah. So we're gonna open up. We're gonna open up for questions.
All right, we are back with a question, and this is Miss Sonia, and this is so cool. Sonia and Quita grew up together. Wow, in Walker County. Very, very cool. And Sonia, she actually is an educator for 20 years, right? So again, thank you for your service. Yes, because we know these kids these days. But so Sonia is gonna actually ask a question to Michelle, Laquita, and Shanika. So we'll let Miss Sonia go ahead and jump in.
Okay. If I could invite anyone to my healing table, living or gone, who would it be?
Who would it be that got you emotional?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would invite my mother.
I would invite my
Don't say
mother.
that.
And the reason I said my mother
Yeah.
is because she's the one who I thought didn't love me. And so I noticed how when I was growing up, I felt like she whipped me more. I had 6 other siblings, and I felt like she whipped me more. And so how she interact with me, I felt like she didn't love me. And so as I started healing and going through layers of healing, I realized that my mother's silent love, my mother's action, her putting a roof over my head, her putting me in a Christian education school, her feeding, us, and that was how she loved me.
The best she could.
She was not a person that hugged like me, but she was a strong woman. Mm-hmm. And I felt she didn't love me because she never said it or showed it. But now I see how she showed it. Her love, her strictness was her protection.
Right.
She was protecting her children. Mm-hmm. So we needed that strictness. Because if we weren't, if we didn't have that structure in that home, 7 kids.
Yeah.
All that energy up, and no telling what we've been out doing. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I would bring her to the table and say, "Thank you, Mother."
Oh, wow.
And I know, and I have told her, she's 91 and she has dementia, but she understands some things. And I had a conversation with her, and from the conversation and understanding her background and her history helped me understand myself and our relationship.
Right.
So I would say, thank you, Mother. Thank you, which I said in my book. Thank you.
She can understand a lot than you think. But that's amazing, because for me, it would be my mother. It would be my mother. She's no longer here. But for her to witness this healing side, for her to see this, we want as a child, you want your mom to be proud. You want them to say, "Look, Mom, I was a traumatized teenager.
Right.
I had kids early, but it was all working out for my good."
Yeah.
I want her to see this part of my journey.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would definitely be my mom. Yeah.
That's good. I would say my grandmother. She passed away when I was about 1.5, but my family never ceased to tell me stories. She passed, and everybody was there for my grandfather. My grandfather, he was a great provider, but he was the grudge holder. So when your family's things trickle on down, and it's like when my grandmother passed, she was like your grandmother who would sew things, she would cook things, she would do all that, and she passed when my mom and her siblings were in their early 20s to late 20s. So they lost their mom in a very crucial part of time in their life. And I just wonder if my grandmother was still living, would there be so much disconnection in my family? And so I feel like I identify with her a lot. I get that from my dad. He tells me a lot. You are just like your grandmother.
Wow.
And so I would invite my grandmother to this table to ask her, how did you do this? How can I do this? Because it's a lot of hurt that was left when she left.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Sonia.
That was a good question. That was a really good question.
Goodness gracious. And will there be another? That was
a good question.
That was a good question.
It was.
I kind of got a little choked up.
Got a little choked up?
I made it through. I made it through it.
You did. You did.
So last but not least, I have a treat for you all. I do. My team was like, "No, we don't do no. We're not gonna do any treats. You're doing a lot. Tone it down." And I was at the hair salon, and what's so funny, y'all, I wanted to wear loud colors. I wanted to be neon bright,
You neon.
I am. I wanted to. I wasn't gonna have it no other way. I wanted to be
Stand out.
light bright. You hear me? For whatever reason, I wanted to glow in the dark. Beautiful. And so I was like, I don't know why I want to be so loud, but I wanted to be loud in color and everything. And
I almost said something. Go ahead.
our Father is so grateful. He is so grateful. he's amazing. So he's going to give us revelation. And I was at the hair salon today. And she was saying, look, you've gone through so much. And sometimes God has to take us through a journey of brokenness to get what's on the inside of us out.
Right.
He's very strategic in doing so. And it wasn't until I went through that season of brokenness. In the midst of all of that, I discovered who I am. Not only that, in the midst of unraveling the abuse, I discovered my voice. And I immediately thought of glow sticks. And I was like, okay, that's why I want to wear neon yellow. Okay, God, that's why I want to be glowing.
Yes.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this. Okay, going to speak. And so I got y'all some glow sticks. Yeah.
Glow sticks.
I got y'all some glow sticks. But the amazing thing about glow stick is not activated until it's broken.
So every time, what?
It's not activated until it's broken. And so broken is not something that we want you to avoid. Lean into it. Lean into it so you can get what's on the inside of you out.
Yep.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.